Feeling sluggish? Is your skin looking dull and your energy absolutely zapped? Chances are you've heard the advice. It's time to cleanse your body of toxins and impurities. Sounds logical, doesn't it? Today we're going to dive deep into the world of detox smoothies, magic teas, and special diets. We'll uncover what's truly effective and what's simply brilliant marketing, preying on our fears. I promise you by the end of this video, you'll see your own body in a whole new light. So, where did this whole idea of internal toxicity or sludge buildup even come from? The concept of cleansing the body is as old as time, with roots in ancient teachings about the balance of bodily fluids. But the modern detox boom is a relatively recent phenomenon. Marketers took vague, pseudoscientific terms, often implying internal waste products, or gunk, and transformed them into a universal enemy we all feel compelled to battle. And, to their credit, they've been incredibly successful at it. So let's start with the most important word in this whole discussion: schlacky, literally slags. You hear it everywhere. Detoxing from toxins. Your body is full of toxins. It sounds so scientific and frankly a little bit frightening, doesn't it? Immediately you picture some dark, sticky gunk building up inside us, like carbon deposits in a car engine or soot in a chimney. And if you don't clean it out, well, disaster awaits. But let's pause for a second and ask a simple question. What exactly are these slags, and where did this word even come from? And here's our first surprise. The term slag came into dietetics straight from metallurgy. Yes, you heard that right. In industry, slag is the waste material left over after smelting metal, and some brilliant marketer decided this would make a fantastic metaphor. Our body is like a biological furnace. Food is the fuel, and anything unnecessary is those very slags that urgently need to be cleared out. It sounds convincing, but there's one small problem. If you open any serious medical textbook on physiology, biochemistry, or toxicology, you won't find such a concept mentioned. No qualified doctor will ever diagnose you with toxin buildup or a body full of slags, because it's an entirely unscientific, fabricated term. Our body has very specific metabolic byproducts: urea, creatinine, bilirubin. Each has a name and a clear pathway for elimination. But slags, or toxins, as they're commonly marketed, are just a convenient scare tactic under which you can lump anything from fatigue to a bad mood. Okay, so we've established that the idea of slags is just a clever fabrication. But what about toxins? That's actually a scientific term, and here things get a bit more complex. The truth is, there are two distinct understandings of this word. On one hand, we have toxins in the medical sense. These are poisons. Think snake venom, botulinum toxin, yes, the same one used in Botox, or heavy metal salts like lead and mercury. These are specific, genuinely dangerous substances. If you're poisoned by them, it's an emergency that calls for immediate medical attention, not a smoothie cleanse. Then, on the other hand, there are the toxins that the detox industry loves to talk about. And this is where it gets really interesting. Try asking a salesperson for one of these detox products what specific toxins they're referring to. What are their names? What's their chemical formula? Most likely you'll just get vague answers about harmful substances from environmental pollution and poor quality food. Do you see the trick? Marketers have taken a real, genuinely frightening word, toxin, and applied it to something completely undefined. They've essentially created an invisible, unmeasurable enemy that you're told you must desperately fight. With their product, of course. Now let's talk about symptoms, because this is precisely what the entire detox sales industry is built upon. Advertisements relentlessly ask, feeling tired? Has your skin lost its glow? Are you bothered by bloating? And if you find yourself nodding along, they instantly hand you a diagnosis. Your body is full of toxins, and it's time for a cleanse. Pretty convenient, isn't it? They take the most common complaints, which affect almost everyone living in a big city, and declare them symptoms of one fabricated problem. This is where the real trick lies. Tiredness. Of course, you might have slept poorly, worked too much, or been under a lot of stress. Skin issues. It could be hormones, the wrong skincare products, or a diet lacking healthy fats but high in sugar. Digestion acting up. The culprit could be stress, insufficient fiber in your diet, or even an undiagnosed food intolerance. You see, calling all of this symptoms of toxicity is like saying a cough, runny nose, and fever are simply signs of bad air. Instead of addressing the true root cause, you're offered a universal, yet utterly ineffective solution. And the most dangerous part is by focusing your efforts on battling these mythical toxins, you might overlook a real medical condition that genuinely requires a doctor's attention. All right, let's dive into the most interesting part, the so-called cleansing methods. And topping the list, of course, are detox juices and smoothies. The visuals are incredibly appealing. Vibrant, beautiful drinks made from fruits and vegetables, promising lightness, boundless energy, and glowing skin. The concept is simple. For a few days, or even a whole week, you replace all your regular meals with these liquid concoctions. Sounds healthy, doesn't it? But let's take a closer look at what's really happening. Firstly, when you juice, you're essentially discarding the most valuable component of fruits and vegetables, fiber. And fiber is exactly what our gut needs for proper function and to nourish those beneficial bacteria. Secondly, you're hit with a massive dose of fructose, in other words, sugar. A single glass of orange juice can pack as much sugar as a can of soda. This sugar bomb causes a sharp spike in insulin, followed by an equally dramatic crash, leaving you feeling sluggish and triggering a fresh wave of hunger. Yes, you might drop a couple of pounds during those days. But that's not fat. It's mostly water and the contents of your digestive system. Your body, deprived of essential proteins and fats, is under significant stress. And the moment you revert to your regular diet, that lost weight will come right back, often bringing a few friends with it. Ultimately, juice detoxing isn't a cleanse at all. It's simply a very expensive and unbalanced crash diet. Next up on our list are cleansing teas and various detox supplement capsules. Their advertisements promise gentle, natural toxin removal. You simply sip a pretty herbal tea or pop a couple of capsules daily, and your body supposedly sheds all the extras on its own. Sounds easy and pleasant, with no need for tedious juicing. But let's take a closer look at what's actually in these miracle products. What's really hidden behind fancy names like alpine herbs or Tibetan monk's secret? Well, in most cases, you'll find very simple, straightforward ingredients, herbs with strong diuretic and laxative effects. Most commonly, we're talking about senna, cascara sagrada, rhubarb root, or horsetail. and the entire cleansing effect boils down to you simply making more frequent trips to the bathroom. You lose a lot of fluid, which gives you that quick feeling of lightness and a drop of a pound or two on the scale. But this has absolutely nothing to do with flushing mythical toxins from your cells. It's simply dehydration and gut irritation. Long-term consumption of these teas can lead to electrolyte imbalances, the washout of essential minerals like potassium, and even the development of lazy bowel syndrome, where your intestines become dependent on stimulation to function. So, this cleansing turns out to be a rather dubious pleasure with some unpleasant consequences. Let's move on to the next popular trend: fasting and restrictive diets. These are arguably the most radical methods of cleansing or detoxification. Proponents claim it's the ultimate way to give your digestive system a break, allow your body to reset, and burn off all accumulated toxins. It certainly sounds powerful and decisive. But what does your body really think about this approach? Well, your body thinks famine has arrived, and it's time to activate survival mode. To your body, this isn't a trendy cleanse. It's an alarm bell, a signal for survival. Instead of the promised rest, your body kicks into emergency conservation mode. Firstly, your metabolism slows down. Your body tries to conserve as much energy as possible because it doesn't know when its next meal will come. Secondly, to get the glucose your brain needs, it starts breaking down not just fat, but your own muscle tissue. That's right, during fasting, you lose precious muscle mass, the very same muscle that's so hard to build back up. And as soon as this cleanse ends, your body, with a vengeance, rushes to rebuild its reserves, preparing for another potential famine. And what it prioritizes stocking up on is fat. That's why after such restrictive diets, the weight often returns, and sometimes even with extra pounds. This isn't a reset. It's significant stress that throws your entire system out of balance. But what about the most radical methods? The ones that promise deep and instant cleansing? I'm talking about colon hydrotherapy. It's a procedure where dozens of liters of water are introduced into the large intestine via the rectum. Proponents claim this can flush out years of fecal stones and toxic buildup supposedly stuck to the intestinal walls. It paints a rather gruesome picture, and the proposed solution is straightforward, a thorough cleansing. But here, science intervenes again. Firstly, there's no such thing as years of fecal stones in a healthy person. The intestinal lining constantly renews itself, and nothing can permanently stick to it. This scare tactic is just another myth invented to sell an expensive procedure. Secondly, and much more importantly, such an aggressive intervention is extremely dangerous. Our gut isn't just a pipe. It's a complex ecosystem home to trillions of beneficial bacteria. These bacteria help us digest food, synthesize vitamins, and protect against pathogens. Colon hydrotherapy, however, is like a tsunami for this ecosystem. It washes away both bad and, crucially, good bacteria, disrupting this delicate balance. This can lead to dysbiosis, bloating, bowel issues, and a weakened immune system, not to mention the risk of damage to the intestinal wall itself. Doctors are unanimous. The benefits of this procedure are unproven, while the harm is very real. All right, we've debunked those popular detox methods. But what does science actually say? Are our bodies truly defenseless against toxins? This is where it gets really interesting. It turns out we already possess the most sophisticated, powerful, and efficient detoxification system in the world. It works tirelessly, 24/7, without a single day off. And the unsung hero of this system, our liver. Imagine your liver as a state-of-the-art chemical plant. It's your body's master filter. Every drop of blood from your gut, carrying everything you've eaten and drunk, passes through it first. Your liver recognizes thousands of different chemical compounds. It transforms nutrients into energy and essential building blocks for your cells. And anything it deems potentially harmful or simply unnecessary, from alcohol and medications to the byproducts of your own metabolism, it expertly processes. Using specialized enzymes, your liver converts fat-soluble toxins into water-soluble compounds. Why? So they can be easily flushed out of your body. This intricate process is called biotransformation. Essentially, your liver packages all this waste into convenient containers ready for the body's disposal trucks to carry them away. And this system is so incredibly intelligent and efficient that no detox smoothie, tea, or supplement can even come close to matching its capabilities. If the liver is our body's chemical processing plant, then the kidneys are its high-tech waste treatment facility. This is where the liver sends all the waste products it has so diligently prepared. And the work the kidneys perform is nothing short of astonishing. Just imagine, roughly 200 liters of blood pass through them every single day. That's like filtering an entire barrel of blood. Inside each kidney are millions of tiny filters called nephrons. They continuously sift through your blood. Everything useful, proteins, glucose, vitamins, they carefully return to the bloodstream. And all the unwanted substances, the urea, excess salts, and water-soluble toxins processed by the liver, are sent to the bladder. This is how urine is formed. It's an incredibly delicate and precise process. Kidneys don't just filter. They maintain the body's fluid and electrolyte balance, regulate blood pressure, and even participate in red blood cell production. For this complex system to function optimally, it doesn't need any special cleansing teas or detox potions. It needs just one simple thing: plenty of clean water. Water, pure and simple, is the best way to support kidney health and efficiently eliminate waste. But the liver and kidneys aren't the only ones on duty. Our body's cleanup crew has other vital players, and one of them is our lungs. We rarely think of them in the context of detoxification, which is a real oversight. Yet they actively remove waste from our bodies every second, with every single breath out. The main waste product our lungs get rid of is carbon dioxide. This is the end product of cellular respiration, the process by which our cells generate energy. If carbon dioxide were to accumulate in the blood, it would make it too acidic, which would be lethally dangerous. But our respiratory system brilliantly handles this problem. Blood brings carbon dioxide to the lungs, and we simply breathe it out. Furthermore, with each exhale, we also get rid of other volatile compounds. For example, the byproducts of alcohol metabolism. This is why, after a night out, someone might have alcohol breath. It's their lungs actively working to expel acetaldehyde. So, every time you take a deep breath of fresh air and then exhale, you're participating in a natural and incredibly vital detoxification process. The best way to support your lungs isn't by drinking questionable concoctions, but simply by getting more fresh air and staying away from cigarettes. Last but not least, let's talk about our frontline defenders, our skin and gut. They serve as crucial barriers, preventing countless harmful substances from entering our bodies. Our skin, our largest organ, acts like a trusty suit of armor, shielding us from bacteria, viruses, and environmental toxins. While sweating, our skin also helps expel small amounts of urea and other metabolic waste. It's not our main detoxification pathway, but it certainly plays its part. That's why regular showers and sauna sessions genuinely help keep your skin clean and healthy. And your gut? It's a whole universe unto itself. Its lining acts as an intelligent filter, deciding what nutrients to absorb into the bloodstream and what waste to send on its way. A healthy gut microbiome helps neutralize harmful compounds and synthesize beneficial substances. And crucially, it's through the gut that our body eliminates undigested food and waste products, including those the liver sends there with bile. Regular bowel movements are a vital part of your body's natural cleansing process. And for that, you don't need enemas or laxative teas. What you need is fiber from vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. All right, now that we understand how our body's natural detoxification system works, let's turn our attention back to those detox products and ask a simple question. Can a trendy green smoothie or juice bottle really improve the function of our liver? The detox industry claims their products stimulate, decongest, and rejuvenate the liver. However, this assertion simply doesn't stand up to scrutiny. Firstly, as we've already discussed, juices and smoothies often contain a massive dose of sugar, primarily fructose. It's precisely the liver that processes this fructose. When there's an excess of fructose, the liver converts these surpluses into fat. This can lead to the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So instead of the promised detox or unburdening, you're actually giving your liver additional and completely unhealthy work. Secondly, for its enzymatic systems to function properly, the liver requires amino acids, which we get from protein, as well as specific vitamins and minerals. Sweet juices, stripped of fiber and protein, either lack these essential nutrients entirely or contain them in unbalanced quantities. Therefore, ironically, the best detox diet for your liver isn't found in juices at all. It's a balanced diet with sufficient protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. But what about the kidneys? Can fasting actually reboot them? At first glance, the logic seems sound. Eat less, produce less waste, and your kidneys should have an easier time. But here, it's precisely the opposite. Our body's filtration system isn't a computer you can simply shut down and restart. It's a living, continuously operating mechanism. When you fast, your body, in its search for energy, starts actively breaking down not only fat, but also muscle tissue. This breakdown of proteins produces a significant amount of ketone bodies and urea. And who do you think is responsible for eliminating all of this? That's right, your kidneys. Their workload doesn't decrease. It actually increases. They have to work in overdrive to filter out these breakdown products. What's more, during strict diets or fasting, people often don't drink enough water, leading to dehydration. The blood thickens, making it even harder for the kidneys to filter. This significantly increases the risk of kidney stone formation. So, the idea of rebooting your kidneys through fasting is akin to trying to clean a car engine by revving it to maximum RPMs without any oil. The outcome would be catastrophic. So, what really happens when you try to cleanse your gut, using harsh methods like laxative teas or colon hydrotherapy. We've touched on this before, but let's dive a little deeper. The idea that some kind of buildup or toxins accumulate in your intestines and need to be flushed out is one of the most persistent and damaging myths out there. Picture a thriving, flourishing garden. That's essentially your gut microbiome. It's home to billions of beneficial bacteria, all living in a delicate balance. They protect you from harmful microbes, help digest your food, and even influence your mood. Now imagine you decided to cleanse this delicate garden with a powerful fire hose or harsh herbicides. That's precisely what these aggressive cleanses are doing. They don't just clear out the contents of your bowel. They destroy and wash away all that beneficial microflora. This leads to dysbiosis, an imbalance in your gut bacteria. Digestion is disrupted, leading to bloating and discomfort. Nature abhors a vacuum, and where those beneficial bacteria once thrived, harmful pathogenic microorganisms can quickly take root. Furthermore, constantly stimulating your bowels with laxatives actually trains them to forget how to work independently. Interfering with this finely tuned system is a recipe for disaster and will ultimately do far more harm than good. Hold on a second, you're probably thinking, I know people who've done a detox and they really felt better. They felt lighter, had more energy, and even their skin looked better. How can that be if it's all just a scam? And that's a perfectly valid question. There are several explanations for this, and not a single one has anything to do with flushing out mythical toxins. The first and most important explanation is the placebo effect. When someone spends money, time, and effort on a procedure and genuinely believes it will help them, they actually start to feel better. The power of self-suggestion is immense. If you're expecting to feel lighter and more energized, your brain will work incredibly hard to find confirmation. You'll start noticing the smallest positive changes while conveniently ignoring the negative ones, like constant hunger, for instance. Beyond that, the ritualistic aspect of self-care itself. Buying fancy bottles, preparing special drinks, following a plan, provides a powerful psychological boost. You feel like you're doing something right and beneficial for your body. This reduces anxiety and gives you a sense of control over your life. And that feeling alone can significantly improve your well-being, even if nothing physiologically beneficial is actually happening. Secondly, and just as important, the explanation for the miraculous detox effect is actually quite simple. Let's take a look at what typically happens when someone goes on a detox program. They stop eating fast food, fatty, and fried foods. They cut out sweets, pastries, and sugary drinks. And, crucially, they completely eliminate alcohol. So what happens? For a week or two, this person switches to a very low-calorie diet, consisting mainly of fruits and vegetables, and stops consuming foods that genuinely strain their digestive system and liver. Naturally, they'll feel lighter and better after that. But it has absolutely nothing to do with the magical properties of celery juice. It's simply because they stopped eating unhealthy food. Anyone who temporarily gives up burgers, cakes, and alcohol in favor of salads and water will feel better. This is a natural outcome of simply transitioning to a healthier diet. The detox industry simply takes credit for this obvious effect, attributing it to their own products. But you can achieve the same, or even better, results simply by adjusting your diet without any expensive or questionable programs. So we've established that the benefits of detox programs are highly questionable, primarily attributed to psychological factors and a temporary avoidance of unhealthy foods. But can they cause actual harm? Unfortunately, yes, and the potential dangers are significant. First off, as we've discussed, most cleansing teas and supplements have strong diuretic and laxative effects. This directly leads to dehydration and an imbalance of crucial electrolytes like potassium, sodium, and magnesium. These substances are vital for heart and nervous system function. A deficiency can cause muscle spasms, weakness, arrhythmias, and in severe cases can lead to life-threatening complications. Secondly, strict, low-calorie juice cleanses deprive the body of essential nutrients, protein, healthy fats, and certain vitamins and minerals. This can result in muscle loss, poor hair, and skin condition, ironically the exact opposite of what's often promised. And a weakened immune system. Your body simply isn't getting the building blocks it needs to function properly, and following such diets for extended periods can severely impact your metabolism, slowing it down for a prolonged time. So does this mean we should do absolutely nothing? Just sit back and hope our body handles everything on its own? Absolutely not. You can and should support your body's natural detoxification system. It's just that this support looks nothing like what ads promise. We're not talking about short-term cleanses or detoxes, but rather daily, consistent support. Imagine your body's internal cleansing system as a team of highly skilled professionals. Your liver, kidneys, lungs, and gut. For them to work efficiently, they don't need magic bullet detoxes. What they do need are good working conditions and quality resources. So, what does this mean in practice? It means providing them with everything they need to function optimally. Instead of trying to cleanse your liver, simply stop overloading it with alcohol and excessive sugar. Instead of flushing your kidneys with herbal concoctions, simply drink enough clean water. Instead of purifying your gut with laxatives, feed it with beneficial fiber. Supporting your body isn't about giving it stressful jolts, but about creating an environment where all its systems can operate in their normal, optimal state. And that is a far wiser and more effective approach. Let's talk about the simplest yet most powerful concept for supporting our bodies. Balanced nutrition. It might sound a bit dull compared to the flashy promises of detox, but that's precisely where the secret to real health lies. Our body's built-in cleansing system doesn't need exotic superfoods or complicated recipes. It thrives on simple, wholesome, and diverse foods. So what does this actually mean? First, it means getting enough fiber. Think vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes. They act like a gentle brush for our gut and are the perfect fuel for beneficial bacteria. Second, prioritize quality protein. Lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy like cottage cheese. Protein is the essential building block for your liver enzymes, which are responsible for neutralizing toxins. Without sufficient amino acids, this crucial process simply can't happen. Third, include healthy fats. Think olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish. These are vital for healthy cells and fighting inflammation. And of course, don't forget antioxidants. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables are packed with compounds that protect our cells from damage. Ultimately, the best detox program isn't some fancy cleanse. It's simply your everyday plate, bursting with colorful, fresh, and whole foods. It's not a week-long course. It's a sustainable lifestyle. And this brings us to the most important conclusion. The best, most powerful, and most effective detoxification system is already hardwired into every single one of us, courtesy of nature. You don't need to buy it, order it online, or blend it into a smoothie. You already possess it, and it's working tirelessly right now, this very second. Your liver tirelessly filters your blood. Your kidneys diligently remove waste. Your lungs efficiently get rid of carbon dioxide, and your intestines expertly sort nutrients. This intricate system has been perfected over millions of years of evolution. It's incredibly smart, highly adaptable, and capable of handling immense loads. It can neutralize and eliminate virtually anything it encounters in a normal daily life. The notion that this perfectly engineered system needs periodic cleansing using primitive methods like juice fasts or laxatives is, quite frankly, absurd. That's like trying to improve a finely tuned Swiss watch by hitting it with a hammer. Instead of trying to interfere or fix it, our main job is to create the optimal conditions for this system to thrive. This means not overloading it with processed foods and alcohol, giving it plenty of water, and supplying it with all the necessary nutrients from high-quality whole foods. Do that, and it will faithfully serve you for years to come, without any need for deep cleans or resets. And now for the most important, and perhaps shocking, revelation. Are you ready? The medical term slags, or toxins, as it relates to the human body, simply doesn't exist. Not at all. This word was borrowed from metallurgy, where slag refers to waste products. Marketers simply took this frightening, scientific-sounding word to sell you the idea that your body is a dirty blast furnace desperately in need of cleaning. All those symptoms attributed to being toxic or sluggish actually point to poor diet, lack of sleep, stress, or real medical conditions that should be diagnosed by a doctor, not a detox tea salesperson. So, the entire multi-billion-dollar detox industry is built on a non-existent problem. They're selling you an expensive solution for an imaginary illness. True detoxification isn't a week-long smoothie cleanse. It's your lifestyle. It's about drinking enough water, eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, regular physical activity, and getting quality sleep. Your body is an incredibly intelligent, self-cleaning system. Your liver, kidneys, and lungs don't wait for a special juice to start working. They're doing their job right now, as you watch this video. The best thing you can do for them is to not interfere, and instead provide them with the necessary resources to function optimally. So, to summarize, do you need to cleanse your body of toxins with special diets and supplements? The answer is a resounding no. It's a myth. Instead of spending your money on useless and sometimes even harmful products, invest it in quality food or a gym membership. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you found this information new and useful, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future debunkings and helpful tips. Now, a question for you. Have you ever tried detox programs or cleansing diets? What was your experience? Share your story in the comments below, and let's discuss it together.